So for some of us who have been following the gimmicks Atiku and his cohorts have been playing in ADC, we have never failed for a day to call the attention of Peter Obi out that he must not go into any form of negotiation, any form of oath taking, any form of swearing with his life that in case he doesn't win the primaries, he will support the coalition. No, and I'm so happy right now. You can actually ride a horse inside my belly. Peter Obi has said, to hell with all the northern threats. To hell with anybody who wants to tinker with him. He is not a toy that they can play with, that he will pull out, and he has actually set a date. Peter Obi is not even ready for any form of primaries. What he's asking for is what I have always clamored for, which is you have to be, as a leader, be decisive. Nigeria, as it stands, is never a nation that is monolithic, a nation that is, you can say maybe it's just one tribe. No. In Nigeria, we have grown to understand, right from my infant stage to right now that I'm married, having children of my own, I know that Nigeria is a nation that actually protects, talks about what we call the simple dichotomy between the north and south. It has always been so, it will always be so, unless of course Nigeria gets totally, disseminated. Then we will no longer talk about north and southern Nigeria. There can never be a conversation in Nigeria where they will not take into the consideration of the dichotomic differences that we have. Right? The dichotomic differences that we have are very clear, very loud, and very pronounced. Why is it that when it got to Peter Obi's time, a party called Alliance of Democratic Congress, which is formed by Atiku and his boys, are telling Obi that in ADC we don't want to talk about North and South, that we just want to simply talk about competence, that we will all run in coalition primaries, and if you, Peter Obi, in case you do not emerge, what will happen is you just have to write a documentation that you will support whoever emerges. If it is Atiku, you have to support him. If it is Amechi, you have to support him. If it is any other person, but you have to support him. So, and you have to put it in writing. I love the actions of Peter Obi as I speak right now. If you agree with me, I want you to like this channel, subscribe, and share it together with me. Let us be frank here. It is Peter Obi or nothing. The North have been sending all manner of threats to obedience. They have been sending all manner of threats to Igbos. I wonder what could be the offense Peter Obi committed. Because I know this is a young man who has literally tried to be diplomatic to the core. I have even questioned Obi that your diplomacy is now looking like you are that people can just take you for a ride. Like your diplomacy is so perfectly done that people will thank you for a fool. You don't want to get angry. You don't want to feel attacked. You don't want to seem as if you are a bigot. You just want to present yourself as a nationalist. You don't want to talk about it is actually the turn of the South. You keep speaking in parables, yet they come after you. I have questioned Peter Obi that where is your southern dignity? As a southerner, most especially as an Igbo man, where is that hunger for power? Because yes, you have to be hungry for it. We all know that power is not served a la carte. The North, no matter how you try to pamper them, will never give you power based on pity. They will not. They will never do that. They didn't give Tinubu, who is the current governor of the day, who is showing us serious shaggy and hell. They didn't give it to him on a la carte. They didn't give the power to him on a la carte. He actually grabbed it. Buhari, who is being buried today, didn't want to give him. Buhari had his own candidate. Right? Buhari had his own candidate. But Tinubu was ready to do the dirty job, pay billions of dollars, did all these shenanigans and gimmicks in politics, reportedly bought Amek Mahmoud. Maybe some people said he paid over 200 billion. Who knows? But that could be true. There are so many allegations that he's sending money to America so that they won't release information about his drug files and all that. But whatever the case is, the bottom goal and aim and every action we take on a daily basis is how do we grab power. We must actually display our intention that we are hungry for power. We must push aside conversations that people will be saying that I am not desperate. Oh God, you are desperate. I am desperate. I am desperate to see you there. You must stop this rhetorics of I am Oga, you are desperate. I am speaking on behalf of the obedient. Over 6 million obedient are desperate for power to return to you. So you cannot be telling us you are not there. Oga, you are desperate. If you are not desperate, Peter Obi, can you please shift aside and leave the political arena? Let us see road. Make we know who remain. Let us know who we will push our base and support to. Is it to Atiku? Is it to Tinubu? Or is it to Showore? Is it to Mahalu? Or we are going to look for someone entirely new? I love what Obi is now doing. Yusuf Tanko, I don't know if it was Peter Obi that actually gave him the approval to say that, but I want to believe he's the one because the North, ever since Buhari has died, have been threatening Obi that they will not vote for him. They have been sending message to Atiku that Atiku, any ticket that we find Obi on, we will not vote for him, whether on ADC, whether on whatever. Yeah, even if Obi does not run as a president, we will not vote for him. Even if Atiku steps down and rolls on the floor to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, beg all the political and traditional leaders, he shed tears, blah blah blah, that because Peter Obi wrong Buhari, that they will not vote for him. And then I asked, what did Obi do? Nothing. Obi did nothing. Nothing. Was Obi invited to the burial? No. So why would he go there? He has done what he could do. Share his condolences, which are well crafted. He didn't dupe beyond himself. He said his words. He didn't insult anybody. He just said, well, may God forgive the shortcomings of Buhari and may he be granted a chance to live in Aljana Fidaus. Those are the words of Obi summarily. And then I am now seeing say that Obi is that obedience are attacking Buhari, that Obi cannot come out and caution his supporters and this Oga. And an obedient, we don't need the vote of the core northerners. If we can secure the middle belt, by God's grace, we'll secure the southeast and southwest and south. Obi will be the president. They can no longer cage our thoughts and reactions when they bring up this rhetoric that we not remember. What are you remembering? The man that is being buried just some hours ago dealt with the destiny of the northern youth. Oh, you guys are not remembering that. I don't know where they keep their brain. I don't know. Is it that it is suya and what's it called, and cocoa that is in their head? Is that what is in their brain? Is it cocoa, me and cook and tuwo chinkafa? Is that what they have in their head? Like seriously, Buhari that literally destroyed the northern potentials. I mean, the rate and numbers of Alimanjiri children rose for over 2 million plus that Jonathan left it. It rose to over 6 point something million when Buhari left the power. But yet these same people are the one, these ones are educated Alimanjiris, because we have two categories of Alimanjiris. We have the educated Alimanjiris and then we have the uneducated Alimanjiris. The uneducated ones are the foot soldiers. Those are the ones that run around on the street that keep shouting, say Baba. You see them all over the northern street. But the educated ones are the ones that will come online and be threatening Obi that for him to have said such a word, for him not to start visiting each obedient house, be writing letter to them, be warning them, hey, chubus, or don't say that. Hey, Bayo, keep quiet. Hey, you keep quiet. So that's what they expect him to do. When Buhari said very terrible words that led to bloodshed, They killed over 1,000 coppers, right? Didn't the South vote for Buhari because the South felt that okay, it is truly the north of truly the turn of the North? Didn't they vote for him? So the argument that they will not vote for Obi because of whatever he said or whatever his fans said, his supporters said, based on Buhari, damn them again. Obi will become the president, and I love it because Obi is now showing signs of radicalism. Obi is now showing serious sign of radicalism. So you cannot just feel that they can just keep playing Peter Obi like a ping pong, like a man who has no conscience, like a man who has no, like he has no what we call citizen right. He doesn't like they just want to make Peter Obi a shadow of himself. They want to put him in a cage. No. That's not gonna work. Listen, the movement is called a movement for a reason. They are called a movement because they have a spirit, because they should have that ability to charge. It's as simple as that. The promise is we want to have a new Nigeria that is structured, where the Biafrans will have a voice, where the Yoruba Republic will have a voice, where everybody within this contraption, as it is currently constituted, can actually be emancipated and liberated. So there shouldn't be a fear that some northern youth, like I was narrating earlier, educated and uneducated managers will not be sending unnecessary threats to us. Look at what Tinubu's media aides are doing to the north. They are applying what we call stick and carrot approach. They go beat them small, pamper them small. Look at what Tinubu did today. Tinubu went to bury Buhari. He was shedding tears on the coffin, just doing all that so that the North will what? Oh, this guy is loving. This guy paid the highest level of honor. You know, just eye service. All right, that's what they need. But on the other end, Bayo Nanuga came out to slash them better beating. Strike them hard. He told them that, listen, this is how Tinubu. He released some. He said, for those who might have forgotten, that this is a video that will rejig the senses of the North, how Tinubu contributed immensely to the victory of Buhari during the period of 2015 and, of course, 2019, when this had the second term election. You see, Obi must understand that this same Fulanis or northern youth who are largely carrying out the ideology of the Fulanis, who believe that they are born to rule and conquer, Obi must begin to understand that being gentle with them to a fault will do us nothing but evil. Okay? He will not have any iota of respect. He must agree to the term that sometimes he must to speak hard. He have to speak hard. It is only fair for us to approach who we fear head on. We cannot continue to cower. We cannot continue to be silent. We cannot continue to say that Atiku does not want to leave. He probably wants to go and uproot his placenta in that Aso Rock, because this is a man who has been chasing this same particular position for more than 30 something years, and yet he has failed and failed and failed. He is now old and frail, yet he still wants to rerun in 2027 when he will probably be 80 years old. So what is he looking for? What sort of change is it? So these are people who are not, if Atiku was nationalistic enough, Atiku will realize that Nigeria's stand does not exist on one pillar. Nigeria stands on four pillars. Okay, it stands on the Yorubas, on the Igbos, on the Hausas, and of course on the Southerners. These are the Ijaws and all that. Out of these four pillars, three have served. The only people who have not served are the what? The Igbos. Atiku, if he truly wants to show himself and present himself as a nationalistic and not all those lies and fallacies and deceptive stories that he keeps selling and parroting around that he's a nationalistic person, he's for Nigeria, he should just humbly step down and say, Obi, go ahead. Go ahead. Then by 2027, I will take over. But we know that this man has told anybody in ADC He has damned the pastors of the South who have been begging him to step down. He has told all northern leaders that nobody should bring anything that looks like him stepping down. That he has the right to contest. Nobody said he doesn't have the right to contest, but he has the right to contest only when it is turn of his people. And now it's not the turn of his people. Atiku will not change his skin or his ethnicity, where he's from, all of a sudden. Atiku is a northerner, and that is who he is. Obi is a southerner, and that is who he is. And the leadership of this country has been agreed gentlemanly that we will have a turn by turn style of leadership. And that is what we had. That is what we've been having since 1999. That was why, at the middle of the night, Obasanjo had to switch the name of Odili for Yaradua. That was why, as of 2014, Jonathan was booted out and Buhari was there. That is why in 2023, Buhari stepped down for who? For Tinubu. And that is why Tinubu, come 2027, should only and will only be defeated by a Southerner, and this time must be an Igbo man, inshallah. If you're just joining, please kindly like, subscribe, and share. Bye for now. Today marks the day Buhari gets buried, just 6 feet under the ground by Tinubu. Tinubu has said it will give Buhari a state befitting. In fact, he declared a public holiday. But that is not the exciting news here. What is exciting is Tinubu has some agenda under his sleeves. Tinubu has constituted some committees ably led by the deputy speaker, right, from Abia State, this man who has started the constitutional amendment, a constitutional amendment that will see everything about the Nigerian constitution to be reformed. While I understand that this might not possibly pull through, but we must recognize that the greatest obstacle the Nigerians had right from the days of the confab, all through the 8 years of Buhari, was Buhari himself. Buhari was the arrowhead of the Fulani oligarchs in the Nigerian contraption. Buhari came on board, he cancelled. He threw the confab file into the bin. He said anything that looks like restructuring this current Nigerian state will never work. In fact, they demonized the confab. They said confab will further divide the nation. And then I ask, have we ever, as a country, beyond 1963 to 1966, ever been united? The very moment we started having the northernization agenda initiated by Sardauna in the north, when they started sacking, unjust sack, retirement, retrenchment of civil servants, because they were not from the ethnic extraction of that region, right? That was when the country called Nigeria expired. Over a period of 60 years now, Nigeria has expired. Now, what is so beautiful about this constitutional amendment? And why are the northern leaders crying? Why are they saying that, no, let us pause it. Let us put an hold to any conversation that has to do with constitution reforms and all that. That we must wait probably for them to finish mourning Buhari. Yeah, because Buhari is like their northern Ariwa god. And so we must pause the destiny, the fate of other regions. Oh, because someone like Buhari died. Well, for the north, let me tell you, a very important person to us, and then to the southwest, particularly from Ogun State, the Awujale, the king of the Ijebus, died yesterday, just as Buhari also died. But that man has been buried, and the Yorubas are not demanding for a pause. Buhari has had his time. Buhari wouldn't have been who he is today if not for the level of very low intellectuals that we have in this country, a nation like Nigeria where evil are celebrated,